After Wednesday's false start in the league, hopefully the season starts today with an away game against fellow relegation candidates Crystal Palace. However, we also have a home game against Arsenal, which we're going to hope stays down below double figures. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 24 of my Bristol Rovers FM20 playthrough. My name is James, and on today's episode we have our first away game of the league against fellow relegation candidates Crystal Palace, and then we have a home game against Arsenal. Since you're last with me, there's been no news as the last match was in the last episode, so I think we should crack straight on into today's match. And the team for today's match is going to be the same. It will be very similar to the previous one with one change. We have Jacola in goal, a back four of Holmes Dennis, who comes in for Korea, who drops to right back, and Kraft drops to the bench. Kilgore and Long make the two centre-backs. Rolls and Sammy in midfield. Barrett, Arzani and Lumeka make up the attacking three, and then Clark Harris is up front. The only other change to this is I have switched to an attacking mentality. We obviously had the lion's share of possession in the last game, and we also had a dozen shots, with only 4 of them being on target. I feel maybe if we go a little more attacking, especially as this is yet another team who not only are expected to go down, but also were with us in the Championship last season. So if we're going to be able to get any points, it should be against these guys, although this is an away game after all. So let's hope we can get off to a better start than the Watford game. And less than 4 minutes on the clock, we have a highlight. We have there's a goal kick with Crystal Palace. We managed to clear the ball, but Crystal Palace win the ball back again. Ball is now with Zaha to Mayer to Milojevic. But Holmes Dennis manages to collect the ball. Can he bring it forward? Pushes it to Kilgore. Looks to take it into the centre. Big ball forward looking for Clark Harris, but the ball is cleared by Crystal Palace. Sammy does win the ball back. Puts out to Thierry. Cross to Long. To Anzarni, to Sammy. This is some nice football here from us. Lumeka looks to bring it inside. Bring it to the penalty area. He takes a shot. We've had our first shot of the game, but shame it wasn't on target. We'd hoped for better from Lumeka. 11 minutes on the clock. We have a free kick with Barrett into the penalty area. Long with the header. That looked like a free header. It should have been, again, another shot that should have been on target. And a chance goes begging. But we do have another free kick here with Holmes Dennis. This time tries to go short to Barrett, but it was nowhere near him. Crystal Palace managed to clear it, and Zaha collects the ball. No one's pressuring the ball there. He brings it forward into space. He's not got many options, but he does bring it to the penalty area. He takes it around, but we do manage to tackle him, and we do lose. Don't say that's a penalty. Is that... Second game, we need to stop this. This is the second game in a row now. I'm not sure who gave the penalty away. There was 2 players there. But if we're going to keep giving penalties away in these games, we're just handing teams points. I mean, we've not had a shot on target yet, but we looked like we were building something, and it's so frustrating because even if we, I'd be happy. I'd be not happy, but I'd be more understanding if we were being overwhelmed. But we're not. We're just not trying. We're getting the chances. We're getting shots. We're getting possession, and we're just throwing it away. I really don't understand what is going on. Maybe it's this formation. Maybe I have to switch back to our other formation. But Zaha's in the penalty area again. Had a free shot. No pressure on him at all. And he puts it wide. He should have been... I think Crystal Palace fans would be hoping that he puts it in there. And they should be 2-0 up. But again, 30 minutes on the clock. I'm going to ask the players for some passion. We've not had a shot on target again. We've had 6 shots in this game and not a single one on target. I think if this carries on, we're going to have a massive rethink. We're game and a half into the season. I didn't want to be this negative this early on, and I probably would be more understanding, as I said, if we were being completely overrun, but we're showing that we have the ability, but we're just not taking the chances, and we're not being creative enough, and we're not being organised enough at the back and giving away penalties. So anything I can do to change this around at half-time. I mean, Korea's having an awful game. He's coming off. I think he was the one. He must have been the one that gave away the penalty. Let's push Clark Harris forward to an advance forward. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe there's no one forward enough. Push Josh Barrett forward a bit more as well. Let's try and play a bit further up the field. Let's put Rolls up to a Mazzala as well. Let's push him up there. See if he can maybe try and fill in this gap here. As Barrett comes in, he can switch out. Try and keep as much width as we can. I think we'll leave that. I don't want to make too many changes. Do you know what? I'm going to be aggressive. Show me something else in the second half. If that's what we need to try and get them going. We need to fire them up somehow. They need a good kick, I think, to try and get themselves going. But we have a corner here with Barrett. Can we make something from this? Into the area. Ball is cleared by Crystal Palace. Schlupp looks to bring the ball forward. He is in masses of space. The player's tracking back, though, to try and stop him. But he puts it forward into Zaha. Zaha forward to Miljokovic, who has a shot. He was free on the edge of the penalty area, but his shot goes looping over the bar. 60 minutes on the clock. Do we make another substitution? Let's push Honzani out wide. Let's see if we can try and get... Push him forward. Let's put an advanced playmaker out wide. Let's take Lumek off. Let's bring on Bailey and push him forward as a shadow striker. Because of that, let's drop Clark Harris back down to his pressing forward. Hopefully he can try and produce some opportunities for Bailey. Or at least have some Arzani creating some opportunities coming inside. Maybe across to Barrett coming in as the inside, as the inverted winger. I think keep it like that for the time being. First league outing for Bailey. But Crystal Palace do have a free kick here with Townsend. We know he's good from range. He takes a shot and it goes just wide of Jacola's left-hand post. Let's demand more from the players. And on 70 minutes, Crystal Palace have a throw-in into Townsend. Townsend's free in the penalty area with the ball. Puts to Mayer. Mayer manages to turn his man. Jacola fumbles the ball but manages to pick it up on the second opportunity. And again, that looks very... This is an awful angle, but that to me looks like it's crossed the line. I presume it hasn't. That's why it's showing us. Otherwise, it'd have been given. Let's go very attacking. Let's do whatever we can. Can we do any more shouts? Let's get creative. Let's get some inspiration into them. Let's push them forward. Townsend with another free kick. Out to AU. Who was that trying to pressure? Bailey just walking up to him, not putting any pressure on him at all. Crystal Palace are just waiting to take their shot here. Passing it quite nicely between their men. Johnston to Sacco. Out wide to Ayling, but Holmes Dennis finally puts a tackle in. Barrett keeps the ball in play, but then isn't able to get to it, so Townsend collects the ball and it goes back to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Now to Sacco. We are pressing them a lot better now, actually, looking at it. Maybe that's why they're pushing them back. But out to wide to Ayling again, who's in masses of space. I've no idea where Holmes Dennis is there. Townsend's free in the centre. Takes a shot, but the ball is blocked. Ball comes across. Luckily, no one was in the 6-yard box. And we managed to clear it out for a corner. I think just before this corner is taken. Let's push Rolls forward. And should we make a last substitution? I think let's take Barrett off. Let's bring in Keita on and put him as an inside forward. He's not as familiar out there, but hopefully he might be able to come in from the left-hand side and have a shot. Let's push these guys forward as well. Let's push them forward as far as we can. Get as many men forward as we can. There we go. I think that's about the best we can do, I think. Less than 4 minutes on the clock of normal time. Let's hope we can try and get some. If we can get a point here, this is going to feel like a win. Townsend with the corner into the centre. Sammy manages to clear it. He's had a great game today. Arzani manages to collect the ball though. Puts it back to Long. Big clearance forward, but Crystal Palace collect the ball again. Doesn't go to anyone. And Crystal Palace look to bring it forward again with Zaha. Zaha is being pressured nicely there, but we managed to find space. Mitchell out wide with the ball on the overlap. Looking to put the ball into the centre. Zaha's free again to Ahu. And Rolls puts it out, I think, for a throw-in, not a corner. But again, Crystal Palace having another opportunity. I think that's it. I think we're coming up to the end now. That game felt better than the previous one, and it was away. But that's back-to-back losses against teams who are fellow relegation candidates. At this rate, we're going to need to start getting points against teams far, far bigger than us. Right, I'm going to have a think, and then we'll move on to the Arsenal game. Welcome to the second match of today's episode. We have a home game against Arsenal. Now, this was going to be a tough one regardless. However, I had a question during the press conference and also a news article come up saying that Arsenal had just beaten Man City, who are expected to be pushing for the title. So I don't think this is going to be a very fun match at all. Well, that was unexpected. Had a catastrophic system crash while recording the Arsenal game. I've lost, unfortunately, the footage of the game. However, thought I'd at the very least show you the goals. As you can see here, we did lose 2-1, but it was a good match, a close match as well. We really did We really did show up in this game and show that maybe we can actually put in performances against some of these bigger sides. However, Arsenal's higher class of players definitely did prevail in the end. However, let's go in and watch the goals. So here's the first goal. Sammy with the ball. Walker in his debut match tries to take a shot to Clark Harris, and then Walker slots it into the far corner. The hero of the playoff final last season, putting one in for us. And in the second half, we went into half-time 1-0. But here, Maitland puts the ball into Lacazette. Lacazette slots it quite comfortably past Jacola to draw it level. And then in the last 10 minutes, Arsenal had a throw-in to Chise, who just smashes it home for the Arsenal victory. Definitely a much improved performance over the previous matches against Crystal Palace and Watford, but it does mean with 3 games gone, we are still to even gain a point this season. However, one thing I did notice is Fulham are actually below us, having a worse time than we were. I don't know who they faced today. Fulham lost 3-0 to Man United and then lost 3-0 to West Ham on the first match of the season. Lucky losing the footage of that Arsenal match didn't end in missing out on what would have been a crazy win or even a draw against a side like that. Right, so I'm only going to play one match offline, the Carabao Cup second round match against Brighton. We're then going to come back for Chelsea and Fulham in the next match. It's going to be a televised double-header against London sides. We'll then jump forward a few matches for the following episode where we're likely to play, I'd say probably, I think Norwich and Man City, or Man City and Everton, depends on how we're doing at the time. But I do feel that the Arsenal game was definitely some signs of improvement and definitely gives me food for thought going forward to the next couple of matches. So if you enjoyed that, apologies for the lack of highlights on the Arsenal game, but please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of brand new FM20 videos from me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and thank you very much for watching.